Hello gamers. Fixing Mario Kart World's bagging problem by Beast MD. As much as I like to make fun of the baggers, I said it with a hard R, while I've never felt like I needed to bag to win, the strategies are so predominant where I felt the need to do it. I can definitely see how strong it is, if it makes sense. I can definitely understand it. When it came to Mario Kart, I had no idea what you guys are talking about. But when it comes to this game, I kind of get it. I still don't feel like it's that much of a problem, but I kind of get it. So there is a chapter called Proposed Solutions, which is why this is interesting to me, because he might actually give us some good solutions. So, Beast MD, take it away, brother.
You had a great idea, CTR, but my game is more advanced in every way.
How'd you solve the bagging problem?
Bagging problem.
Might want to look into it.
Damn.
Layer
Damn, did Nitro Field fix the bagging? Shit. I don't think I've bagging, not neither, but what was it? I think my controller wasn't working and everyone kept accusing me of bagging last night. Whoever did that, you're banned, by the way. You're not chatting anymore. Fair enough.
When it comes to item play in Mario Kart, Mario Kart World is more distinct than the previous entries in the Mario Kart series, not only because a lot of items behave differently, but just for the sole fact that there's 24 players in a typical race.
Can we get more bass on that microphone? God, he's got one have a deep voice, huh? Hey, look at you, you're emasculating me. Hey guys, hey, hey guys, it's me, so this is my real voice now. I'll turn him up a bit, I guess. Yeah.
Even when you look at red shells, compared to Mario Kart 8, having 3 red shells revolve around you, normally, oh, that's the perfect attack. You have one of the most powerful attacking items in the game. But in this game, it's more defensive. A lot of times, people don't even be throwing them because there's so many people, there's so many items flying around that it's more worthwhile to just keep them around you as a layer of protection. To me,
I actually agree with this. I have felt like getting triple greens or reds isn't really an offensive weapon anymore. I feel like I'm being written a creepy Reddit story. Well, it is a Mario Kart video, so it kind of comes with the territory. But yeah, I do kind of get. I kind of fuck with it. He's making sense so far because I agree. He's making sense because I agree with him. But what's the solution? I need solutions. I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas.
Examples to show how differently items work in this game. Bagging as a strategy isn't a new thing. At least for me, I think it got more popular in that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe days, especially when you look at a stage like Cheese Land. And of course, with this bagging, that's when you stay back purposely in order to get a good item to make a really big comeback at the end. When Mario Kart World first came out, a lot of people thought bagging was going to be dead, just for the sole fact that like the bullet bell wasn't as powerful, lightning wasn't as good either. But because of the level design and because of how many people are on the race at a time, bagging is a really powerful strategy in a lot of different scenarios.
Mushrooms and shortcut is like way more meta. It definitely is, especially in the knockout tour mode. But it just makes for fun gaming, if I'm being honest. I just like taking a big beautiful shortcut, and it's a shame that you bag haters hate it. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. Okay.
In the regular 3-lap races, it's not always the best thing to do. It kind of depends on the level, but with knockout tour, bagging is very powerful. The big reason is that staying back lets you collect your coins, lets you stay out of the chaos, and there are these big stretches of road with ginormous shortcuts that are available to you, and that you can literally go from 24th to 3rd or 24th to even 1st in just one interaction. Even if you try to front run, you get hit one time and then 10 people pass you up. Bagging is fun in a certain way just because it takes so much strategy. Like, it's not just
I mean, I say it's like, at least from the, I would say maybe 100 now. I'm getting so much enjoyment listening to he does have it. I mean, it is a far cry from, hey guys, a YouTuber here. It is a far cry from that. So I do appreciate that. But like, I've just never felt like it was necessary for me to win. Like, I felt like every time I've lost in a knockout tour game, it's not because I didn't bag, but it's because you fuckers destroyed me, firstly. But even in like a regular game, I've just felt like I either didn't get the item luck I needed, or I just got passed by. Like, I didn't use my items effect. Like, or maybe it's just dumb luck sometimes. I don't know. I've just never felt, maybe I haven't really paid much attention to it, I could say, but I feel like a lot of the more powerful shortcuts and stuff, usually towards the later stages of the game, tend to be a lot less powerful when you're near the gate. I think one thing that Knockout taught us quite well as well is not in every instance, obviously, but a lot of times, like, the gate is like all the way back here, but the last item is like way back here. There are a few instances where the item's relatively close, but more often than not, the last item is like way back here. So if you're purposely bagging to try and like farm that final item box, I could see there being like a chance where you don't get what you need and then losing, you know? So I think that's probably why, at least I felt that way. I'm gonna have to try it just to see if it works. I think item management is the last aspect people tend to overlook. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Keep talking to me.
unlimited. You don't
Okay, Starlight, chill. Okay, it's like chill, guys. Chill. We're doing the reverse problem. Normally, I'm scared that you guys are gonna make fun of someone's voice and I ban you instantly. You guys are simping too hot. Relax. Okay, calm down. Keep in your pants.
just, oh, you just stay back and then you automatically win. You have to be using your items in the most precise manners. It is just like using the shock, the most powerful item in Mario Kart. If you find yourself holding your shock, that could potentially be the game winner, but it's only if you utilize it properly and if you have a good secondary item with it. But is this really a problem that needs to be solved? We all know bagging takes strategy. Is it wrong to eliminate that part of the game? Well, me personally, I think that in a racing game, the strongest strategy should be to race as fast as you can.
100%. I 100% agree in principle. It should be, but if people have found this alternate strategy that kind of goes against the flow of the game, is that necessarily a bad thing? Like, if it requires as much strategy as you say it does, and if it requires so much strategy, I've never felt the need to do it. Could it maybe be as comparable as, say, I don't know, like fucking. Like, is there another example? I was gonna say wave dashing in Melee, but I suppose once you get to a certain level, if you can't wave dash, you're kind of cooked. But then again, you can say the same about bagging, right? Once you get to a certain level, if you're not bagging, you kind of suck. Would it be the same as that? Like, I could play Melee casually with my brother, and he might be able to wave dash, but I could still beat him. So, like, is it maybe comparable to something like that, where like it's not exactly what Sakurai intended, but it's still always something that people like to do, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit antithetical to the point of the game. I don't know. I'm trying to find an example, but I don't know if I could find one. But if it's as strategic as you say, I don't really see as much of a problem as what I'm trying to say.
It's arguably the funnest way to play and the most skillful way to play as well. Just because you stayed back perfectly and you got some really good RNG and you know the stage layout and you know, oh, this is the last set of items. I know where I'm going to use it, or I know where I'm looking at the map to see where everybody's positioned. Oh, I know where this shortcut is coming. That's just base knowledge that I think doesn't really have anything to do with skill. I think it also makes it very unsatisfying if you are front running because everything just gets taken away from you, aka getting Mario Karted. Getting Mario Karted is way more prevalent in this game.
Definitely.
And I don't think that you should be front running and be surprised when you win. So bagging needs to be toned down for that reason.
I would say that is true. I would say, like, yeah, front running just isn't really as interesting as it could be, which is a bit of a shame, really, honestly. I was hoping Mario Kart would kind of fix that in the sense that maybe there's a bit more to do because, like, you're charge jumping, you're parkouring, you're doing other stuff. And to some degree it is, but the knockout tour stages, because a lot of them are quite straight and don't use Mario Kart World's effective gameplay stuff, it's not as interesting as it could be. I think that's probably the big issue as well, is that even if bagging is not that much of a problem, front running isn't as fun as it could be. I think I agree with that. Like, I've never felt like in a excuse me, I never felt like in a knockout tour I needed to be first place unless it's obviously the final rally. I always felt more comfortable saying, like, staying in second, third, fourth, you know, maybe in fifth than I was in first, because first obviously opens you up to the most chaos of all. And because obviously the game doesn't want to give you the most powerful items to protect yourself, of course, it kind of leads to a situation where it's not as fun as it could be. I can definitely see that happen. At least in a standard race, you know, there's only so much race you're running. But like imagine being first in like the first checkpoint, for example. Are you going to stay there the whole time? Most likely not. So you're just kind of waiting. You're kind of just waiting for that moment where you get Mario Kart and hoping you don't get screwed over too hard. You know, it's a bit weird. I don't see there's a problem with bagging as much as people intentionally stop before the line when they're in second or third just to throw fireballs at everyone. I hate online. I mean, that's just a bit. I'm not gonna lie, brother. That's just kind of funny. It might have been me, Benami. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. You might have bumped into me, and I might have done exactly that. Because that sounds like something I would exactly do. My dad was big into cycling when I was growing up, and front running is always the same there. The peloton, the big group of races, always catch up before the end of the race. Really. It's weird that a race game first place isn't where you want to be at all times. Yes, that is true. And in a normal 3-lap race, I feel like there's enough to do when you're in first to maintain your first place, i.e. finding a place to grind, maybe taking all on a pass, like all sorts of stuff to do. Whereas a knockout tour, again, it's based off the intermission route tracks, which are mostly straight line. Like, it's not as much like parkoury stuff is what I'm trying to say. So you don't necessarily even want to be in first. The route's also very simple layouts with not a lot of turns, so when you're front running, you can't really charge mini turbos. Yeah, exactly. There's not as much to do in a 3-lap track. Ideally, if they do invent more tracks and more rallies, they have a bit more going on so that first place has something to do, you know? And so first place has an incentive to want to stay first, you know? Which is a bit of a shame, yeah.
But how do you tone?
But what do you plan to have as a solution, brother?
Down bagging. How do you nerf bagging? Well, you nerf bagging. Remember, what is bagging? Bagging is when you're holding on to an item for a long time. To me, the only real solution to that is you have to add decay to the item. Just like when you initiate a golden mushroom one time, you see that meter start to go down before the item disappears, because obviously you can't use the item forever. So a similar system needs to be in place with most items in the game. I wouldn't say all items. I don't think the coin needs decay or a banana needs decay, but I think a world where you have a star and you have a golden mushroom in your hand, the star, whichever item is coming first, it should have a slow decay on there in order to give you a time limit of when you can use it. That would be
interesting proposal. I would say that could you find a sweet spot between making a decay where it only affects baggers but not harder, but not casuals? Because I wouldn't say that idea already sucks. Limfow. Okay, Slayer, you got 5 minutes, brother. 5 minutes to give me your solution. Otherwise, good luck. Okay, good luck. Banned. What I would say, could you feasibly find a middle ground? Because I don't want, like, my mum playing Mario Kart, hang on to the... Oh, but then again, there's the auto item system. So if there's someone who's, like a casual who tends to hold on to the items and forgets to use them, you could turn an auto item for them? That could work. I could see that working. Maybe, I feel like there could be a middle ground. I don't know, really. Oh.
Be the simplest way to directly nerf bagging, but also if you just do that with no other actions taken, I think it could actually lead to some adverse effects in relation to the shock. A lot of times you may only experience shock one time per match.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times because somebody's holding it like really far back. And also you can't see when somebody's holding shock too. You just have to assume. If you see somebody in the back and they're not really moving forward and you don't see an item on them, a lot of times you have to guess that they might have a shock and they're trying to time it for the perfect moment. If you just put a decay on shock, I don't know how long the decay would be. It wouldn't be as short as like the golden mushroom decay or the boomerang's decay, but maybe somewhere around 30 seconds. That might even be too long. But like, let's say
it just goes to show, right? Like it would be. I think there is a reality where decay works. It would have to be very fine tuned though. And is this enough of a problem when Nintendo would want to invest time into that? And if you're asking me, even as a casual player, would I want Nintendo investing time into that? Not necessarily. Again, it's not really be for real. It's not really a problem that affects me, in all honesty, And I would say I'm like one of the majority. I guess if people don't hold a bullet in a shock for like 20 millennia, yeah, I'd say so. If there's a way to see the time, it isn't that bad a day, especially because he wants to put in certain items, but not others, so it doesn't have to nerf all that. True. It'd be an interesting side battle setting. What would be kind of interesting is, like, I don't know if any people are still playing like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or something, where bagging apparently is a huge problem. If someone could make a mod to like introduce that decay system into Mario Kart, maybe if some mod is dedicated enough, they can make it work. I think item decay is a decent idea, but not for standard race. It feels like something they could add as a toggle for versus. Yeah, I would say so.
30-second delay, meaning that you experience more shocks throughout the race. I think its RNG should be manipulated further to still try to keep it online to where you would only experience it maybe once, maybe twice at maximum per race. I guess you would have to make the shock rarer if you add in the decay. To me, that's like the most simple way to address the problem, just because that decay system is already in the game. But I do have another proposal that I think would take more work from Nintendo, but it would potentially be an even more efficient way of solving this. And it's not necessarily the decay in the sense of the other item disappearing after a certain amount of time. I think weakening the item would be a good form of decay. Like with the golden mushroom, for example, instead of, I don't know how many bursts you get out of a golden mushroom, let's say you get 20. The longer you hold it, it goes to like 18, or it goes to like 15, 12, 10. The typical...
I think I like that option a bit better. Like, the longer you hold onto a golden mushroom without using it, the less like bursts you get out of the golden mushroom. Yeah, again, let's say it's 20. After like, if you haven't hold it for 30 seconds, it drops to like just 10 or something like that. It drops by half. It's half as effective if you hold onto it for 30 seconds. Something like that. I kind of like that one a bit better, if you ask me.
Decay when you use a golden mushroom and that energy bar is going down, the energy bar just goes down way faster the longer that you're holding on to it. Maybe if you're holding on to that mug for like a minute, you only get like 2 boosts out of it. Now that would really make people start actually using their very powerful items. The same with the bullet bell. Make that mug last for a way shorter time. It's already very short, and making it last shorter would be how I would ideally nerf it. Or if you have 3 mushrooms rotating around you, over time, one of the mushrooms just gone, just straight up gone. Now I can see people not liking this because nothing is gonna make somebody more mad than when they finally use a star and it goes and it's over.
That would be maddening, but like I feel like, what kind of player who isn't a bagger would that happen to? I just don't see the overlap being that high. Like, for example, you could turn on auto item, because I guess Nintendo acknowledged that there are some like more casual players, super casual players, like your grandma, like even your 4-year-old kid who doesn't know that driving, and that's kind of it. That's all they could do. So using an auto item is important for them. But so it would be very funny. If anything, just add it for the funny, actually.
Really get some people hot, but I think it's a necessary evil, especially.
My only issue is that it'd have to be so fine-tuned, because some of the tracks don't have as many areas to make use of these items, and you have to wait to get to the best use out of them. I could see that, but is there a situation? How many feasible situations are there where, for example, I have a star right now. I know 3 item boxes from now, there is a shortcut that I would love to use this star. It's like a perfect star shortcut. It lasts from the moment you touch the off-road to the moment you end. Obviously, because of the decay system, it's going to end. It is like how many times is something like that going to happen? Does it make sense? Like, well, wouldn't I just use the star now and then hopefully roll the next 3 items to hope I get the star I need for the actual shortcut I want to do, you know? Like, how often is a situation like that happening? I don't know, maybe it's happening more often than I can think. Off the top of my head, I can't really see that happening too much. So it could work.
See, when you have the shock in mind, oh my god, imagine somebody holding the shock the whole race and they finally use it and it only shocks like the first 3 people in the first 3 places, or maybe it doesn't even shrink them, it just shocks them. Or just like when you run into a car and you don't actually slow down, you really just lose rings, and any acceleration that I guess you were doing, you kind of just stay consistent. I think that'd be a neat way of nerfing the shock. Now, what are the potential repercussions of nerfing bagging? Well,
I can see someone being good at the game and not, but not competitively. Simply holding out for a section they're on doesn't have any shortcuts. Probably only on the long tracks like Rainbow Road. Yeah, I'd say so. I could see. How often would it be a problem? I don't know. Yeah, not too often though. But what does he say though? Let's keep listening.
One thing that I think of is the game will get more chaotic, because just think, you typically have like your dude in first place who's front running. They probably have like no good items, so not really doing anything. Second place is really getting red shells or mushrooms, not really interacting with the back half. But then when you get to like that 4th through 20th spot, or I guess more like 4th through 16 or 18, it's a war zone. Everybody's killing each other, whatever like that. But now if you nerf bagging, that means that the people from 18th to 24th, all those people are jumping into the fray now, because they're not bagging anymore. Now they're jumping into the fray. So now,
wouldn't that make for? I guess that'd make for a more fun game. But if you're playing competitively to the point where bagging's an issue, I'm guessing you don't want a fun game. You just want a game where you win all the time, right? So I guess for me that sounds like a more fun time. But hey.
Oh, it's even more chaos. One issue that's
like sometimes in one of my lobbies, I'll get someone that's a fucking bagger, and I'm just like, I wish I could kick you from my lobby. Like, I wish I could. I wish I could kick every single bagger I see from my lobby. But we get the occasional one that joins a musty lobby and we're like, oh, I want to take the game super serious. Bro, this fucking Mario Kart. Go play F-Zero. Go play anything else, loser. So if anything, that's good for me. That'd be good for me as well as a frequenter of the custom lobby.
And Crossworlds had during its beta is that there's a lot of powerful items. Item sets came very frequently. And so the whole race, the entire 12 race pack, is just in chaos the entire time.
Yeah.
Would that make Mario Kart World more like that? I mean, Mario Kart World is already like that. It's already low-key worse than the Crossworlds beta. But now there's like less in between. And I do kind of see that perspective. One thing that is detrimental to Mario Kart.
You're kind of a loser for hating people that want to win. Just say, brother, it's Mario Kart. Hey, listen, you gotta go, brother. You have to go, bros. You have to go. How are you gonna try and like farm a win in fucking Mario Kart, bros? You're talking to a guy who loves talking about the game. I fucking love Mario Kart World. I'm here for the vibes, man. It's Mario Kart, bros.
Is the fact that
all I'm saying is that like, you guys have never seen me when I actually care about a video game. I don't think you guys have never seen me when it's 3 squads left, me and the boys, Apex Legends. That's when I go gamer mode, chat. Rainbow Six, overtime match point, 4-4, 1 versus 2. That's when I go gamer mode. Fucking Mario Kart! Broskies, man. Even though it's insane Moresty lobby, it doesn't get me a half strength. Come on now, guys. Come on. Let's go. Let's be real here.
Well, no longer brings anyone to a stop. Like it used to be when you got hit with the red shell, you were kind of knocked into the air and you kind of flipped over and you basically brought your speed down to 0. But now everything like...
What was a $500 tourney? I would let my opponent win because they need the money more than me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm a nice guy. I am a nice guy. This is why you're all subscribed to me. Sorry, Beast MD. I just had to farm some good points.
Slows you down. It doesn't actually knock you down. The same with Crossworlds.
Sorry, is that... hang on, sorry. Again, I'm really sorry to keep interrupting you. I just noticed something. I need you guys to see it.
Thing like slows you down. It doesn't actually knock you down. The same with...
Hey guys, you wanna subscribe for this gameplay? Let's subscribe. Listen, I fancy subscribing to Kelp now. Subscribing to Kelp. Hey yo, where's the link? There's no link. You didn't credit the creator. What the hell, man?
With Crossworlds, almost no item actually brings you to a complete stop, and I think that's an issue because when you have a big pack of 12
Hoy is Temmie is what? Sorry, I have to get. I'm listening. I'm trying to listen to your point. I'm having an ADHD moment. Anyway, let's go.
A complete stop, and I think that's an issue because when you have a big pack of 12 people, let's say if somebody gets hit with a red shell, normally he would get knocked out of that pack. But in Mario Kart World and Crossworlds, he doesn't. He kind of stays in the pack, but he kind of goes to the back pack. So now he's still contributing to the chaos. Not just him. Everybody's still contributing to the chaos. Everybody's getting hit, getting to the back of the pack or whatever. But if let's say if it was like Double Dash or if it was like Wii or Mario Kart 8 and you get hit, you would get knocked out of the pack a little bit. Or there wouldn't really be a pack. People would be more spread out because people would be stopping more frequently. Or even...
Again, more of a problem for what I imagine once you get to the higher echelons, then you get to my end. Because while I can understand this might be a bit of a problem,
We want answers.
I can't say it's a problem for me, brother.
Why are you
So,
police officers?
I like your solutions, though.
Hey, Musty. I hate being rude. But why...
Okay, then don't be rude then. Skipped. Thank you for the 5.
There would be multiple packs. Just like, I guess, then biking or in those cross-country races where it's like multiple packs of people. It's very interesting. But I think at the end of the day, everybody should be trying to get to the front. That should always be the goal.
Sure.
Maybe not necessarily first, because second place is in reality the best spot to be in. Or really even low-key third place. Third place and then be able to just steal them at the end. Because first place, they're the ones who's getting blue shell. And they have the worst item. But that should always be the coveted spot. The top 3. I do also think another thing that would kind of make sure that there's less chaos is that there's too many items that like rotates around you. The game is too generous with giving out 3 red shells, 3 green shells, 3 bananas. Like now it's so common to bump into somebody and
yeah, for me the issue is that like, yeah, it's just, I think I don't mind that those items are common. It's just, yeah, as you said, it just feels like more often than not I'm having to drive around someone's fat ass because they got triple greens, you know. But then by the time I'm trying to drift around them, someone from behind hits me. I would say the triple greens are more of a symptom to the overall chaos that is this game. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of get it. It does feel like maybe that happens a bit too much. Maybe, I don't know.
get sent flying, and it's obviously not skillful. It's just literally.
Hang on. I like this guy's ideas, but he needs to work on vocals and audio mixing. All right, Carl. Listen, Cartman, you're banned. You're banned, brother. Send me a 1-minute voice clip of how you sound, okay? And we'll compare and contrast, all right? Otherwise, banned. Don't come back, okay?
Just ramming into.
I better not see you in a fucking Deadwing Dork comment section again. I'm gonna get him to ban you, okay?
I think the game would be less chaotic if you reduced that number as well, or even if you made it that instead of 3, it's 2, or that there's the chance for 2 instead of only 1 or 3. But yeah, banging is very interesting, and it's a very unique way to race.
I mean, it's a strategy.
That not many people are familiar with. And I think the fact that there's different ways to play Mario Kart, I think that's awesome. But I think that bagging should be like a trickster archetype rather than like the meta, if that makes sense. Just like
is it the have I got any compendies in check? Is it the meta in Mario Kart World right now? Like I know apparently I've heard it's really bad in 8 Deluxe. Is it the meta in World as well? If so, yeah, kind of. Yeah, is it? Sure, okay.
Zoners in a fighting game. I feel like you can make a zoner good. You can have good zoner characters, but the zoner shouldn't be the meta in a fighting game.
I actually agree with that. Yeah, I actually agree with that comparison.
Can I you Injustice 2? Thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think.
Contrary to some of the fucking losers in my chat were saying, okay, your voice sounds lovely, all right? Your audio mixing is fine. audio mixing, that's what you're gonna go on about. Unbelievable. Either way, interesting discussion. I think you actually proposed some actually interesting solutions that could work. And even though I'm someone who this doesn't affect in the slightest, I still think you offered some very good solutions and gave me an insight to a problem I don't really care about. But interesting video nonetheless. Thank you so much, Beast Husband. Good video. So let's have a look at the comment shower. I mean, I gotta. Do I go deep mode voice as well? Chatting on. Is my voice mod running? My voice mod isn't running. Thank you, Corpse MD. Let's get into the trenches, gamers. Bravo 6 going dark. Sorry for the long reply. Oh my god, it's been pinned. Mario got a special with World. Hang on. Alright. Mario got a special with World. Has an interesting community. Does it now? How interesting are we talking? Many of the top in quotes. Fuck it out. Move over here, chat. I've only got to here only because I'm just that scared of Mario Kart World spoilers. Have you? Hang on. Have you still managed to remain unspoiled, Brad? Wait, brother, it's been 2 months. How have you managed to remain? I'm confused. How have you managed to be unspoiled? Like, Mario Kart you're like a Mario Kart guy. Have you not seen any Mario Kart? I don't know what the new Rainbow Oh, really? Hey, fair. I respect it. I mean, he didn't show any Rainbow Road in this gameplay. I mean, fair enough, I suppose. Sure, he still wants to keep that. He still, guys, right, listen. He still wants to be in the Musty community, but doesn't want to be sport. Array, honestly. Anyway, let's get Bravo 6 resume, please. I know. Many of these, I love the top in quotes. I love the top players and streamers are already a vocal minority that already dictates how the game is perceived. For example, this comes from someone who's never played the game yet because I'm poor. Hey, it's Brad. From what I could tell, many people are completely abandoning the intermission tracks, instead using their platform to offer solutions for a better intermission experience. If I was, say for example, I was a top creator gamers, even then I would still be kind of, I wouldn't say anti-intermission, but like, I think we're all in agreement, chat. They're like, while we like the idea of the intermission tracks, they're not as interesting as they could be. I think that's the general perception of them, right? I think that's fair for me to say. That's how I feel about them anyway, is that like, while they're interesting, and I'm glad they tried them, they definitely need to, you know what I mean? Like, today junior. Like, what I'm saying is that if this was Epic Games, people tend to like laugh at people. I see someone pearl clutch whenever I say that. If it was Epic Games, there'd be like there'd be a summer event by now. There'd be like a collab by now. Like, at least with like a live service developer or publisher, we would have stuff to fill out the world. But because it's Nintendo, we genuinely don't know if we're going to get any fucking DLC or any sort of update. That's the frustrating bit. Because we know right now, if this was Rocket League, or if this was fucking Rainbow Six, or if this was Fortnite, there'd be a summer event. Every NPC would be wearing sunglasses. Fire Bros would be more common in beach tracks as like a bit of an update. Beach themed things would be all around the world, and maybe if you could look at top of the Comet Observatory, you might find a secret, and you go up there and it's secretly a fire Catsaquack who becomes a new NPC. Do you know what I mean? Like, a live service dev would do some like extra shit to pepper in the world, but because it's Nintendo, we just don't know if they're gonna do that. You know, I think that's the general agreement, I would say. So when people say this, I'm just like, this is one of those instances where I understand why you're skeptical, because big YouTubers, we've literally seen it, haven't we, chat? 1.1.2, Mario Kart's dead, 1.2, Mario Kart saved. So I understand your skepticism with the big YouTube community, but I think this is one instance where they're like correct, you know? They're correct. So I understand your skepticism, but in this case, else could be the toilet. I know players who try to convince me that the intermission are not interested, but in the end of free like that, so nah, definitely, yeah. I like the idea. I like the idea, and I love them in Knockout Tour, but yeah, they need to do more of them. I get the outcry, but when you're alienating like something like 56% of the game's content and telling your community to alienate the game's content, it really hurts the experience as a whole. That's kind of on Nintendo's fault. Again, I understand the skepticism, but this is Nintendo's fault. That being said, the vocal minority also seems to endorse the bagging strategy. So I feel like even though its suggestions make sense or reasonable, any associations to bagging would probably see them leaving the game, which is also not good for the game's health. As far as I'm concerned, big YouTubers leaving a community generally tends to give rise to other big YouTubers to take their, or other people to rise to the top for more of the. I can't really say, to be honest, I can't think of an example where I've seen that happen, but I just feel like that'd make the most sense. Like, for example, say like TWD Shortcat fucking decided to just, like, I feel like somebody else would probably be found and then like rise to more prominence, you know what I mean? Or maybe if more people are rising to prominence now, I don't know. I feel like that would happen. I actually don't know, to be honest. Nintendo treating their biggest series poorly is pure on themselves. Yeah, literally. And again, I understand the skepticism. I get it. But this is one case where, because you've not played the game, you're just assuming all YouTube is bad, which, in this case, you've rolled for initiative and rolled poorly. As for what I think could be done about the bagging strategy, if they simply implored more items into the item pool, or lessening the odds of getting really good items, I think that would make people think twice about bagging. If anything, if anyone could think of creative items for the game, it's Nintendo. They could pull from past games, draw inspiration from other franchises, and even lean into the chaos more by adding more items. What would be what I suggest. That could work. The more items there are in the pool, the less chance you have of getting stronger items. That could work. That could be proposal number 3. I pretty much agree with everything you said. I love to front run. I don't know if you remember, but when you play, oh my god, he remembers it. I remember games. I remember. I feel like it's an ideal way to play the game. I feel like front running shows your mastery of the game, the clearest mastery of your character and Kart combo, showing your mastery over tracks and tight turns. It seems like the ideal way of playing. Yeah, I'd say so, but it's Mario Kart, really. I feel that heavy. Because real talk, 90% of players would be happy with bagging nerfs. They are the only ones I can imagine crying about. What's even strange, I've seen them complain about bagging, but since it's probably more consistent, since it's probably one of the more consistent ways to ensure you almost top half the lobby, I feel like they're more obsessed at the loss of that consistency. I mean, I know you expect a consistency from a Mario Kart game. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, broski. Well, I do admit that bagging is funny and could be really satisfying when it works. Like you said, front running should always be the best strategy. I agree with this. This isn't the video's creator. So it's a fake Beast MD? Jerry? Chat, is this a fake Beast MD? Is this someone impersonating him? Oh my god, how did he get the white background on his name? Adding more items would hurt. Also, about the community itself, cannibalizing is also among Sonic crosswords. Yeah, well, I'll fucking say I've seen a bit of that lately. Look up any negative video on crosswords saying they don't buy it, not worth the money, Sega's greedy, all of them from Sonic channels. Yeah, but like, I've seen a lot of glazing from them as well, so I'm not to tell you, Beast. I've seen too many of them, okay? I've seen too many of them. Same with calling Mario Kart dead. Yeah, very interesting phenomenon on game where consumers plan to essentially self-sabotage the public perception of the game as much as possible in order to make the developers listen. I think you're overthinking it. You're going on with the assumption that everyone has the best interest at heart. Nah, brother, money talks. Money talks. Money talks. Dirty cash, you want it. While there might be some people that have the developer's best interest at heart, money talks. Literally. Cool analysis. I agree. I thought it was a cool analysis. Thank you, brother. You're gonna play it. I'll play some match with you, Beast. If you bag though, you're banned from my lobby. Like I suggested, items get weaker all the time. That's already sorted in the game with a bullet. It gets weaker if you use it as a higher placement. So your suggestion is definitely possible. I don't have to solve bagging, but a fever dream of mine is to add the boatloads of items to make the item pool rotate seasonally. That'd help the game's longevity. Yeah, that's a live service thing. Nintendo doesn't do that. Okay. Front has reportedly been nerfed. You can now get a coin and coin blocks at the same time, making it less likely for those in first to get defensive items. Boomerang and now triple shroom have been nerfed as well, though people are saying the shroom differences aren't noticeable. Yeah, that's really funny. That's actually really fucking funny, chat. You can get a coin and coin box at first. I haven't seen it happen yet, but that sounds really fucking funny. Oh, maybe making a timer that forces the characters to throw or use the item after getting them, even at any time. That could work. Nice one. Oh my god, thank you, big dog. He called him Big Dog. Oh my god. Shit. We still bagging in the big storyline. In the big It never left. Yeah, literally, it never left, bro. Over that, I've never had a bagging. Hopefully that mess isn't too possible in Crossworlds. Yeah, again, I can't really say it affects me. And you're talking to someone who knows what it is. And probably wants to win when I'm streaming because I hate when I lose to you fucking losers. But either way, closing thoughts, Mr. Beast MD. I think your video was actually quite interesting and did the thing where instead of just bitching or whining, you offered solutions. Solutions that seem genuinely interesting. And while I won't be fighting your camp because frankly I don't care that much and it doesn't affect me, I will say fight the good fight, brother. A well put together video. Your voice is fantastic, okay? And we'll leave it there, chat.